Hello everybody, I am back again with another speed paint. This speed paint was from an editorial class and it had to do with a specific article. This article, as you can tell, has to do with unicorns. Unicorns are pretty cool. They have magic powers. They're, very cute, very elegant, beautiful creatures. I wish they existed. So for this article, it was mostly talking about like just the history of unicorns and how they came to be, as well as the symbols and just like different like facts about them. So we usually think of unicorns as like the very colorful unicorns. They have like superpowers, different types of abilities. But the unicorn has goes back to even before Christianity. There were times where they were thought to be other creatures, and so people confused them, and that's how the unicorn basically like came about. The article definitely like explains this like so much more better, so you can definitely like go there and read it. I'll definitely put the link in the description for you guys to read, because this is an interesting read, and you get to learn more about the world. So as you can see, there are two different sketches. For the first sketch, I wanted to talk about more about like the Christianity aspect of it, as well as the symbolism aspect of it. And then the second sketch was more so about the fact that I wanted to show more like how people usually see unicorns as very like delicate creatures, jumping around, having no care in the world, I ended up going for the first sketch because I like the symbolism and just like the overall composition of it. And so unicorns are actually seen as a symbol of Christianity. They were seen as Christ. So back in like the 13th century, 15th century, between that area, you would see like a lot of unicorn related art. Again, because it was seen as a symbol of Christianity and as a symbol of Christ himself, which I thought was very interesting. They weren't the best of creatures. Not best. They're pretty cool, but they were not very docile. They hid a lot. They weren't able to be captured, and apparently the only way that they could be captured was through a virgin maiden, because they became very docile and loving in their presence. So you'll probably also find lots of paintings kind of showing that from that time period, which again, it's pretty cool. You guys should look it up. So this is what I wanted to show for this one, for this sketch. Just type of that, the docileness, if that even is a word, with a virgin maiden. I also wanted to go back to that painting called Virgin and Child. I think that's the name. I could be wrong. I'll show the painting, just in case I am thinking of the wrong one. But yeah, that's why I have like those golden halos behind them, because I wanted to go back to that, and like most of my inspiration came from that painting. Again, back to Christianity. I am not like a religious person, but I do am interested in religion and different sorts of religions, and the symbols and the stories, because I like learning about stuff like that. I think it's very cool how so many religions kind of have like similar stories, ideas. and it's just interesting to learn more about the world and about other people. So I went over with I picked this one, and I'm using the Turpentine brush because I love that brush. If you guys saw my other video, I didn't really use that brush in that video, because in that specific painting, because it just didn't match very well. But I feel like because I wanted to go for an old painting type of look, I think the Turpentine brush did a great job. I worked on the Virgin Maiden's face, her clothing. I used like dark blues for like the shadows. And in terms of the skin, I used this technique that I've seen like so long ago, but I like finally used it because I don't normally use it. I don't know why, but I just thought like it would be nice to use it because it would give her like a lively type of look, which is like the yellow on the forehead. I'm sure many of you who do art have heard of it. The using a yellow tone on the forehead, red on the cheeks, and then the lower half of the face is kind of like a bluish tint, and that should give you kind of like a real effect on how skin is supposed to look like. But I feel like it did its job. It looks really good, so I'm pretty proud of that. I've also used the spray paint brush at the bottom half of the unicorn. I liked the texture that it gives. I didn't use it too much in this painting, not as much as the other one, but I just like the texture. I thought it looked nice. I love the blues that I used here. I feel like it makes the painting really pop, and it just makes it look cool. So right now I'm working on the hair. For a long time I was pretty scared of just like painting hair. I am a traditional artist. I started as a traditional artist. Most of my art years have been traditional. But even then I was still scared of painting hair because I feel like painting hair is so hard to do. But I actually feel like I did pretty well on this one. I did much better than other hairs that I've painted before. I usually kind of I'm a little bit lazy on my hair sometimes, but I feel like I did pretty good, and just creating those waves, and using those different like greenish, bluish colors on the hair really made it look really nice. Right now I'm working on the background. I just wanted to do like a cute normal sky with clouds. I didn't want to populate it with too much stuff. I just wanted the scene to be simple and peaceful, and just make it feel the peacefulness and the silence and lovingness that Virgin Maiden is making that unicorn feel. Here I'm basically just painting down the flowers, and kind of didn't want to spend like a lot of time on them because then it would just take a lot of time just specifically doing them. So I decided to do kind of like rose type of flowers, and I didn't blend them so much as I was doing with the unicorn. But I like the way that it came out. I feel like they gave it a nice texture to the piece, and it matches like the sky. The sky is not super blended, which I also really like. I will definitely also put in the description the type of brushes that I use because I can't remember the name right now. The only brush that I really remember the names is the Turpentine brush and the spray paint brush. But the brushes that I'm using for the grass, I can't for the life of me remember it. So I'll definitely check the description for all that type of information. Right now I am doing the gold halo. I was looking for reference on how to do it, so I was using that Virgin Maiden the Virgin and Child painting. Sorry about that. Just to figure out how it was done on them and how it's usually done on these paintings. They usually don't have a lot of crazy detail because, it is usually used with a foil. But, this is it. I'm basically done with them, just figuring things out here. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I'll definitely will be doing more in the future. And please subscribe and like and comment. See you soon.